What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV. Don't forget, keep liking, commenting and subscribing to the channel. Thank you once again for all your support. Now, the video today. Jose Mourinho has been appointed the new Tottenham manager. But the big question for Arsenal fans, should we have appointed him as the new Arsenal manager? In my opinion, yes, we should have. Yes, we should have. Now, I understand why. Some people think Mourinho might not be the perfect manager to bring into Arsenal. People have got this theory that he plays defensive football. I think at times he does, yeah. But I remember many times playing against Mourinho's Chelsea away from home at their ground and then being very attacking. I think Mourinho he picks and chooses when to be defensive. I think away from home in difficult games against the top six, sometimes he will go there and play for a draw. If they nick one, they nick one. But I think his thinking was always don't lose in a big game away from home. But at home, that judgment goes out the window as far as I'm concerned. Look at his record against the top six in home games when he's been manager, particularly at Chelsea. This guy attacks at home. You know, I remember him beating us 6-0 at Stamford Bridge? Hammering us. You know, he broke the record at Real Madrid. He won the treble at Inter Milan, Champions League at Porto, Europa League at Man United, runners-up at Man United. Is he as defensive as everyone makes out? I'm not quite sure he is. I think he builds from the back, which Arsenal are desperate for. Desperate for a manager who can make us defensively solid. What have we lacked at Arsenal for years? Power. Genuine power in our midfield and our defence. Two things that Mourinho goes and gets straight away. He loves Land of the Giants, big 6 foot plus powerful beast. We haven't had that for years. I'm not just saying big guys are better players. You need quality with it. But that's what Mourinho gets. For me, I don't know what anyone else thinks. As I've said before, there's more than one manager that I would have taken at Arsenal. You know, I'd have taken Allegri, Brendan Rodgers. I'm not overly keen on going for Ljungberg or Arteta because I think the job is bigger than being a good coach. I think, you know, for me personally, I think Arsenal have missed a huge opportunity. The opportunity to get Jose Mourinho to Arsenal is one that for me was exciting. Also, I think because of the way Man United got rid of him, I think there was a huge motivation for Jose where his next job, he really wanted to prove people wrong. I don't think he's ever left a job before where people have said, oh, Jose's finished. With this Man United job, a lot of people have said, nah, Jose's done. You know, he's not an elite manager anymore. I've seen interviews he's done on Sky where he said, I've got to change slightly the way I handle players. They're not like these strong grown men anymore. They're kind of softer and prima donna-ish now. So I think he would have been hugely motivated. And all the criticism he sort of gave Wenger over the years, I think would have motivated him even more to say, you know what, I've criticised this guy. Even though the two of them have made up and apparently are friends now, I think he would have been so keen to prove everyone that, look, I can do something at this club. So for me, look, I don't want to harp on about it too much. He's the new Tottenham manager, and automatically I think Jose Mourinho becomes one of Arsenal's most hated managers of all time. You've managed Chelsea, Man United and Tottenham, so we're going to despise him, naturally, as opposition fans. But part of me this morning, seeing that on Sky Sports, makes me think, I wish Mourinho was being appointed the Arsenal manager. A question I'll ask you. Would you have rather been playing Southampton this weekend with Unai Emery as the manager or Jose Mourinho? I know who I would have rather. A genuine winner, a guy who builds teams from the back, who makes teams more solid defensively, who wins trophies and has won trophies at every single team he's been at. My next point. What are the Arsenal board doing at this football club now? Because you know what? I went quiet in the summer because we spent money, we bought Pepe. Even though I genuinely believe this, we wanted Zaha over Pepe. That's a whole other argument, but I genuinely believe Zaha was number one choice. And I think they signed Pepe because of the structure of that deal. They weren't able to get Zaha paying over 4 or 5 years. That they wanted nearly all the money up front. Lille were willing to take the money over a certain amount of time and they got the deal done. That's a different argument. I'm now looking at the transfer window going, did we really address what we needed enough? You know, I still think we need a powerful midfielder. I think we need a top quality centre-back. And I'm looking at the board going, do you know what? Have they stuck by Emery because they genuinely think he's the right manager? Or have they stuck by him because they weren't brave enough, they weren't strong enough, they weren't ambitious enough to go, do you know what? We appointed this guy a season and a half ago, but he's not the right manager. I think everybody can see Emery is not the right manager for Arsenal Football Club. Now, we might rescue something this season. He might nick a top 4 place. He might win the Europa League. But the reality is, he might not. And at the moment, the way we're playing, you would say we probably won't win the Europa League or get in the top 4. So why have we stuck with him? Have we stuck with him because they genuinely believe he can turn things around? Or have they stuck with him because they're going, it's 6 million to sack him, and then Mourinho's going to want a few million signing on fee, and his wages will be bigger, and we'll have to give him 100 million in the window. That's more likely the reason that we have stuck with him, because it's the easy option. And let's be honest, if Arsenal do sack Emery, do you expect them to go and get Allegri? Do you think they would have got Mourinho? Because I don't. We'll probably go and appoint Freddie Ljungberg because he's cheap, because he won't say much. He's the assistant manager. We'll probably go and get Mikel Arteta, assistant manager, former player, cheap wages, can't really say much. It's his first job. That is the belief I have in this board, or lack of belief I have in this board. They're weak, they're unambitious, they don't care about the fans, and I don't believe we can see Arsenal reach that top elite level again while this Kroenke enterprise are running the club. We are not moving in the right direction. The only thing that's improved at Arsenal in the last couple of years is the kits and the sponsorship. The Adidas sponsorship, that is all that's improved. We've got great kits now. We've got a few decent players. We're playing rubbish football because we've got the wrong manager. You've got Allegri, who's won, 6, 7 Italian leagues, been in 2 Champions League finals. And you've got Jose Mourinho, 25 major trophies in his career. 2 managers who would probably take the Arsenal job under the right circumstances. And guess what? We've sat there and allowed Tottenham to get ahead of us and appoint an elite manager. Bear in mind, Pochettino has been in 4 top 4s in a row and been in a Champions League final, and Levy has decided, I'm going to sack this guy. He's lost the dressing room. They're playing poor football. They're 14th in the league. I'll get rid of him. Mourinho's been lined up for days and weeks. They haven't rang him last night and said, do you fancy the job? And he said, yeah, I'll take it. This has been lined up. While Arsenal, are we even a big club anymore? Let's be honest. Are we a big club anymore? Because we're not moving like it. I don't see what's big about Arsenal Football Club anymore. Fan base big, stadium big, sponsorship deals big. On the pitch, are we a big team? Do the elite players want to come to Arsenal? I don't think they do. Because of the ownership. Imagine we had new owners pumping money in now. It's a different story. I'm sick of it, to be honest. And me, I'm not happy this morning. People are going, yeah, Jose's going to fail there. He might fail there. But that doesn't mean he would have failed at Arsenal. Maybe he would, maybe he wouldn't. We'll never find out. As I said, I'm not saying it was only Jose we should have looked at. Allegri's available. Can you imagine if we go 1-0 down against Southampton? The atmosphere's going to go toxic. I've seen fans fighting outside the ground already. I've seen fans arguing inside the ground. What direction are Arsenal Football Club going in? If we don't get in the Champions League this season, Aubameyang, Lacazette are leaving. They're going in the summer. Let's make no mistake. They will leave. Then where are we? We're in a crisis with no money to replace. The Arsenal board, for me, I think this fan base of Arsenal, we've got brilliant fans, a huge fan base, passionate fan base. We need to start looking at this board. And over the years, the fans have clashed. Wenger in, Wenger out, Ozil, all these things. We need to ultimately come together and somehow get this ownership out of the club. They are not taking this club in the right direction. And I believe we've been let down in this management position. We're sticking by a manager that is incompetent, that is not playing with any type of style, and he's not getting results. And I think he's lost a lot of that dressing room. That's the end of it. Let me know what you think. Personally, I'm not happy. I'm hearing Mourinho's at the training ground already working. I would have liked to have seen him at the Arsenal training ground. But let me know what you think. Are you happy that Mourinho's gone to Tottenham? Should we have moved for him? Should we have sacked Emery in this international break? For me, 100%. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. There'll be more content coming out this week. Look out for the show on AFTV this week, Talk is Cheap. That'll be out later today. And look out for the Blood Brothers series. We're playing against United Stand, AFTV FC against United Stand later on tonight. Keep commenting, keep subscribing. Bless.